So Time was founded in 1923. 1927 was the first Man of the Year. In 1999, I think it turned over to Person of the Year, right? And when you look back, there were less than, I think, a handful of women that were on the cover in a brand that's represented equality for nearly 100 years. And so when the idea came about of what if we went back in the past 100 years and we looked at those moments in time and we designed covers that were of those moments of time, and we told the stories of the incredible achievements of those women in time, everyone felt good and right about that narrative. And having a daughter, she asked me why a woman can't be President of the United States. And I had to correct her and say, no, a woman can be President of the United States. And I think that initiatives like that actually help girls today and women everywhere and men everywhere, right? Just be proud of the successes of everyone. I work with a woman, her name's Maya Drazen. She came to me one day, and I'll never forget this. She came to me in early March, and she said, this is really bad. I said, yeah. She said, can I show you something that I'm thinking? And I said, okay. And she said, I think that our consumers are going to fall into two camps of needs, selfish needs and selfless needs. And she said, but selfish is not a negative. Let me explain to you what I think selfish is. If you're a parent right now, you're really scared about what are you going to do with your kids at home, right? How am I going to ensure that if they're having screen time nonstop, that it's trusted screen time? So we digitized Time for Kids, and we offered it for free through September 6th, from March 23rd through September 6th. So the first thing we looked at was the selfish need of the parent, which is not a negative, right? Rather, how do I ensure that my child has something safe? The second thing we did was we looked at people's mental wellness, and we said, oh my God, stress and anxiety is going to be incredibly high. And we digitized all of our Time for Health offerings into a digital offering called Time for Health Live Well. And we put it onto a registration wall on time.com. And close to 200,000 people registered to date on that. The third thing we did was we said, people are going to be really scared about money. Picture March, April of 2020. The world looked like it was ending, never coming to stop. And so we partnered with a company called Red Ventures, and we launched a personal finance site with them called Next Advisor, just to help people navigate personal finances. The fourth selfish thing we looked at was people's careers, right? Will I have the skill sets necessary to navigate this moment in time? And so we went to Columbia Business School, and we launched a curriculum with them. We launched 6 different classes with Columbia Business School professors that we curated for our readership, and you could go and for about $2.99 take them and get taught by Columbia Business School professors and receive a certificate from Columbia Business School, and under the Time for Learning moniker. On the selfless side, we were very busy during this time, by the way. We were very busy, right? On the selfless side, it really honed in our focus on quality and sustainability, how we were going to tackle things like ultimately launching programs like Time 2030, which is tied into the UN sustainability goals, and how we were really going to hone in and tighten up our editorial focus. And so it was an amazing moment in time for this brand and for its evolution. So 2030 is tied into the UN sustainability goals, right? So the UN, thanks to them, they made it very easy. If we as a planet don't take this seriously, by 2030, we will run out of time. This is bad, and it's real. And so, not only are we rethinking how our editorial resources are aligned against sort of this vertical, but we have a clock on that vertical. If you go to time.com/2030, that counts down to the year, right? So that way people can just see and really in their face realize that this is not static content. This is real, and you really have to think about this and take this seriously. I genuinely look at the state of the world, and personally, this is not me speaking on behalf of Time, but I look at the state of the world, and it worries me when I see governments everywhere printing nonstop, right? Very short-sighted decisions being made to appease the immediate needs, not thinking long-term. And I look at Bitcoin, and for what anyone wants to say about it, there's a finite number, there is a decentralized structure, and there's enough of a marketplace of believers that I genuinely look at how it can act as an alternative investment and think that it provides a real solution, right, to a lot of people. And some people in the United States or in more established countries might say, well, it fluctuates way too much. But I look at, countries where their, currency fluctuates way more, and it's actually quite stable comparatively. And, having your money outside of the government's control in some of those countries actually is quite a good thing. One of the benefits and the beauty of the internet is that the consumer has infinite choice, right? And one of the benefits and the beauty of social media is you have infinite access. You look at that backdrop and it makes total sense why something like fake news exists, right? Like a seedling of a lie starts over here and it spreads very quickly through, a frictionless environment. And so in a world where that can happen, and in a world where a consumer has infinite choice, the value of a brand in that moment in time is to act as a trusted filter, right? Like the reason I love the Time brand so much is that it's gone through 98 years of passions and, moments and divisiveness and healing. But through that time, like when you look at the red border, right, like that's always acted as this trusted filter, right? And so as long as we protect that and we ensure that the red border of time is always seen as trusted, right? Like then I feel that we'll be able to navigate sort of the whims of the moment as they occur. I want to be remembered as I worked very hard and I did my very best to make sure that I left the world a better place than what I came in. And that that's what I'm going to try my hardest to do.